welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a November TBR wrap-up plus a December TBR poll, and I'm so excited. So for the wrap-up, it's only November 26th right now. Like, we still have 4 days left in this month, but I'm going to go ahead and film my TBR wrap-up and talk about what I'm currently reading, because I'm going out of town for the next 10 days. So I won't be home with all of my books, and so I won't be able to film and hold them and show them to you. So I've decided to just film it a little early, and that's okay. By the time this video comes out, it will be December. So I'll also be talking about what I'm currently reading and hoping to finish before the month of November ends. Just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a heads up of what we're doing today. In addition to our TBR reading wrap up and poll, I'm gonna be running some errands today, doing a little bit of cozy things, day in the life, that sort of stuff. So stick around. I'm so excited to be sharing this all with you, and let's get into the video. Forgot to mention, I got a package in the mail yesterday. It is from my pen pal, and it is my Christmas present, but I went ahead and opened it, and I did film the opening because I knew it was gonna be books, and I wanted to share that with you guys because my pen pal is just so special. I love her so much. I love writing to her. She makes getting mail so exciting, and she was so sweet to send me some books for Christmas, and so I'm gonna put that in right now. Also in this video, we will be cleaning and packing. So maybe not as cozy as I'm hoping it will be, but we do have to get those things done, and then I do have some recording to do for work. Maybe not as cozy, maybe more of just a day in the life, and that's okay. That's just how things happen sometimes. And that'll be the video. So stick around, enjoy, be productive with me. Let this be your reason to be productive today. Okay, so I just received a package in the mail from my pen pal, and I went ahead and opened it because I was so excited. I absolutely love being her pen pal. She is the best, the absolute best. And I think these are books. So I wanted to open them. I'm so excited. Okay. I wanted us to all open it together and share my excitement. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I have been wanting to read this book for so long. That's the garage, if you can hear it. But it's the one with the sprayed edges, and it's just so pretty. We have one more. Thank you, Emma. Oh my god, it's the book of the month, Fate, A Fate Linked in Blood. I don't own any book of the month editions because I've never had a book of the month subscription. That is something I'm very interested in looking into. This is so sweet. Emma, if you watch these videos, thank you so much. I appreciate you more than you can possibly know. I am so grateful that we are pen pals, and I'm excited for you to receive your pen pal box. I filmed that opening video last night at 9:30 after volleyball practice. So now that it's daylight outside, I wanted to share in the daylight the books. So first we got Assistant to the Villain paperback with the beautiful sprayed edges. If you know me, you know I adore sprayed edges so much that I want to spray my own edges for every single one of my books on my shelves. So we have Assistant to the Villain, and then we got A Fate Inked in Blood. This is the Book of the Month edition, and I'm so excited. I've never had a Book of the Month edition of anything. Ever. Here they are. They're beautiful. I love them. I'm so excited to start getting into these. These will definitely be on the top of my TBR for next year. They're all falling. All the books are falling. Okay, so we're going to start with our November reading wrap-up, and this is going to be a very interesting one because I ended up checking quite a few out from the library. So we're going to put the little book images right here for you guys because we only read 4 books from my physical shelf. The rest we just kind of went off and just checked them out from the library or listened to them on audiobook, and so we did not have them. So I don't have them all to show you. Sorry about that. To get us started, I first read Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, and I rated this a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I thoroughly enjoyed this book, but not as much as Fourth Wing. I will say Fourth Wing really had me hooked the entire time. The character development was insane. The plot was just so, it just flowed so well. And Iron Flame, it feels like this was the book that's going to set up Onyx Storm, which we get so soon. It's coming so soon. After that, I started And I Darken by Kiersten White and very quickly DNF'd it after about, I still have the bookmark in here, 160 pages, chapter 21. I could not do it. I gave this 1 star on Goodreads. It was so slow. We don't really get to see any action happening. We're constantly just learning about characters, but we already know about the characters. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we learn about the characters could have easily been condensed into 20 pages, and then we could have gotten on with the action. It just, not my style, not of writing, not my flow of book. So I DNF'd it, unfortunately. Then after that, I read The Nine Eyes of Lucian by Madeline Rue, and almost DNF'd this as well. Oh my god, you guys. I ended up finishing it. I gave it 2 stars, and the reason I finished it is because the end actually wasn't bad. I was pretty hooked about 3/4 of the way through to the end, but I shouldn't have to read 3/4 of the book before I finally start getting into it. So, and it's not even that big of a book. If you are a die-hard fan of Critical Role, especially of their second campaign, then this might actually be for you because it's a lot of just backstory, history, prequel following, of course, Lucian, the main villain in that campaign. I was pretty disappointed in this one, honestly, but it's okay because we very quickly redeemed ourselves and read the rest of the Inheritance game series. So we did the Hawthorne Legacy and the Final Gambit. I think I rated the Hawthorne Legacy a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and the Final Gambit was a 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. In that final book, the love triangle between our 3 main characters was just too tedious. It was too overdone at that point. Like, they've been a love triangle kind of since the beginning, but I was hoping by this point that we would have resolved that. So that's why I gave it 3 stars, because everything else about it was pretty great. I did feel redeemed though, reading those books, and that got me out of my reading slump, because I was definitely starting to feel a little reading slumpy after reading The Nine Eyes of Lucian and I Darken. So happy that we had those. After that, we read The Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in the Infernal Devices series, and I rated this a 3.7, so 4 stars, on Goodreads. I absolutely love how this is more dark academia than the other books that I've read from her series. I love the characters and I loved the plot. I was very pleased with this book. I ended up listening to most of it on audiobook, reading a little bit physically, and the audiobook did not disappoint. After that, I read Sanctuary by Karen Licks. I realized this whole time that I have been saying Carol. That's not the name. Karen Licks. I rated this a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. This was actually so much better than I thought it was going to be. If you've watched my last video, I've mentioned that I don't read a lot of sci-fi. So this was kind of a new one for me, but I absolutely loved it. So if you have more space sci-fi books that are similar to this, send them my way. This book did, timeline-wise, throw me off a little bit because so much happens and so much development between characters happens, but the actual time that takes place is just under 36 hours. And so romance and family drama and all this stuff happens within 36 hours. And that kind of threw me off a little bit because the intensity of some of those romances, I was like, you just met yesterday. To each. I realized I think I skipped a couple books, or maybe just one. I read Funny Story. On a whim, I just was cooking and decided I wanted to listen to a new audiobook, so I picked up Funny Story on Spotify Premium. Oh my gosh, I loved that book. I'm not normally a just romance kind of reader. It's usually romantasy or like has some sort of action plot built in there, but this one took me by surprise. I am now an Emily Henry fan, so if that says anything about Emily Henry and her books, I think we should all go read them now. I do have another Emily Henry book on my shelf. I have The People We Met on Vacation, but I have not read it yet. Funny Story took me by surprise. It was everything that I wanted in a romance. It was so cute. If you haven't read it, it's about Daphne, our main character, is engaged to her fiance Peter, and at his bachelor party, he ends up hooking up with his childhood best friend. When he returns, he gives Daphne 1 week to move out and breaks up with her. The girl Peter cheated on, Petra, she had a boyfriend, Miles. They broke up. And so Daphne then moves in with Miles. Daphne learns that there is so much more to Miles than she thought. They end up growing really close and a romance sparks, and it's fake dating turns into real dating, and it's I honestly love that. It's very Hallmark, but there's something about it that's just so great, and I love it so much. So I rated that a 5 out of 5 stars, I think, or a 4 out of 5. I think it was actually 4 out of 5, but it was really close to 5. And if Goodreads did points, it would probably be like a 4.5 to a 4.7. So that was a solid read for me. I'm very pleased that I just randomly picked that up. Next, I read Shades of Power by Jenny Grimes. This is an ARC that I received back in October, and I am so glad that I finished this. I rated this a 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. This is definitely a romantic-y sort of book. It gives a lot of like ACOTAR vibes. My only qualm with it was that I wanted so much more detail and more information about certain things. So for example, we learned so much history and lore in this book, which I loved. But then when we learned about our characters as like who they are, there just wasn't quite enough information. And so things felt really fast. The transitions between like friends to lovers or enemies to lovers, it just felt so fast that calling it an enemies to lovers or a friends to lovers was just a little weakened, I guess. I don't know how else to explain that. But overall, the story itself, great. I loved the characters. Our main character, Opal, is your standard like chosen one, but it's awesome. This comes out March 11th of 2025, so go pre-order it. Get it when it's out. Go read this, because it really was a great book. This is a great fantasy book. There is some spice. Just a heads up. If that's not your thing, just wanted to give you fair warning. I'm gonna go check my Goodreads real quick and make sure that that is all the books that I have completed reading. I just want to double check. Okay, yes, that was it. That was everything that I have finished reading in this month. There was one book on the November TBR from the TBR jar that I did not read, and that was the Brothers Grimm's Fairy Tales, the illustrated edition. I just didn't get around to reading it, unfortunately. I ended up reading a bunch of other books, but not this one. I will read this eventually. This will go back into the TBR jar. We'll come back to this another day. So now let's talk about what I am currently reading, and I'll tell you which ones I think I'm going to finish by the month of December. To start, I am reading Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. And I'm doing an annotated version of this, but I haven't gotten very far. Unfortunately, I just haven't had a lot of time to sit down and read, which is fine, but life has been busy, so I tend to do a lot of audiobooks right now, and that's how I completed most of my books for November, was through audiobook. I am going on a 4-hour plane ride, so perhaps I'll get through a good chunk of this while I'm on the plane. Then I am also reading Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This was part of my November TBR jar poll, and I am only on like halfway through chapter 2. I am not very far. I just started this last night and I love it so far. It's really great. I am hoping to finish this over the Thanksgiving holiday because now that I have time, it's a holiday, we're not working. So I'm hoping to finish this as well. So this will also be coming on the trip with me. I'm packing these 2 books. I also wanted to show you the bookmark that I got for this. I found this at a Christmas like holiday bazaar. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so beautiful. I absolutely love it, and it has like dimensions, it's textured. And I'm also listening to All of Us Villains on audiobook. So far, I gotta be honest, that is it's just a basic 3-star read for me. I know it has so much hype, and All of Our Demise just came out relatively recently. I know it came out this year, I think. It's just one of those books that I feel has already been done. It's, you know, it's Hunger Games with magic. To me, there's nothing special that stands out, but that's okay. It's still a good read. The writing is excellent. I'm listening to it on audiobook, and they do switch between 2 narrators, male and female. So when the chapter is a female lead, the female narrator comes on, and then when it's a male lead, the male narrator comes on, and that threw me off for like the first 6 chapters. Because at first it was just this British dude narrating with his deep voice, and then it just switched to this female voice that was much higher pitched, and I was like, whoa, wait, what happened? So, especially since when they're narrating their chapters, they still voice the opposing characters. The male narrator, when he's doing a male character, he'll still voice the female characters of that chapter. So I was like anticipating that he would just be doing the whole book from the beginning. So it took a long time for me to get used to that. Now, before I pull out the TBR jar to see what I want to read for December, there are a couple books that I've already checked out on Libby to read over the Thanksgiving holiday if I finished these books, and while I'm still there, because I'm not bringing any more books with me to where I'm going. So the books that I've checked out on Libby right now is the ebook of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, as well as the audiobook of The Ex-Hex by Aaron Sterling. And yeah, I have nothing else really to say about those in particular of why I picked them out. They were just on my TBR, my generic TBR, and just thought I would check them out to have something to read on the plane or while we're driving around, just to have something to do. Let's go get that TBR jar and pull out a couple books to see what we will be reading in December. Okay, we have our little TBR mug, but what I'm thinking is I'm only gonna pull 3 maybe, because I know that I will want to read more Christmas themed books in December, but I don't have any. So I'm not gonna be able to pull a Christmas book off of my shelf. So I know I'll have to go to the library and like explore what Christmas romance I want to read, because Christmas, Hallmark, best time of the year. So shake it up. Let's see what we can get. Okay. The first one is, okay, I'm gonna do some research because I don't know if I have to read this book before or after The Cruel Prince, but if it's after, I have not read The Cruel Prince, so I'm gonna pull 3 more. This was the first pull, just in case. We'll continue our pull. The Bright and the Pale. The Bright and the Pale. Okay, we will be reading The Bright and the Pale in December, and I'm so excited. This is my first Fairy Loot book that I will have read. All of my Fairy Loot books have just been beautiful shelf decoration. I have yet to read them. 2 more. They're all sticking together. Come on. Ooh, The Book Thief. Okay, this is my best friend's, one of my best friend's, one of her favorite books. And so I'm very excited. That's why I have the book, is because she loved it so much. But I haven't read it yet. 1 more. Just in case Teeth is in fact part of a series. Oh no. Okay. Slayer by Kirsten White. And the reason I said oh no is because I just DNF'd And I Darken, which she wrote. So what if I don't like Slayer? I can't go in thinking like that. I can't go in expecting to DNF it because I didn't like a previous book that an author wrote, but still, I'm a little nervous. Okay, I'm gonna go pull all those books off of my shelf so that we can look at them physically. Okay, I was completely wrong. This is its own series. It's not related to Cruel Prince, and I did not know that because just the covers look similar. The style is just pretty similar. At least the copy that I have is pretty similar to this. So I was a little confused, but now I understand. I am on track now. We got to put Slayer back in the jar. We're not reading Slayer, which I'm kind of glad. I think I just need like to decompress from Kirsten White right now. So, Teeth by Holly Black is the first book. Honestly, this is pretty small. I might just bring this with me because I'm going to be away for the first whole week of December anyways. So maybe I'll bring this with me. He's pretty small. Easy to pack. I don't know anything about this. I got it because it was Holly Black, it was a pretty cover, and it was $1 at the library. But this says, enter the realm of fairy, discover the modern fairy tales. And it's a trilogy. Sometimes I blind buy books, and this was one of them. Okay, it says it's grades 10 to 12, so yes, this is YA. This is a YA novel. I don't know anything about it, but I'm always excited to read new books. So that's the first one. The second one that we pulled is The Bright and Pale by Jessica Rubinkowski. I have to look at that while I say it because I struggle to pronounce a lot of things. Let's first just admire. Beautiful. Gorgeous. No notes. Again, I don't know much about this. I love Fairy Loot. I used to have a subscription with them, and then I moved, and that was kind of just hard to keep track of. So I don't have one anymore. I plan to get a new one in the new year. I was about to say very excited again, but I'm trying to think of other ways to express excitement, because I say I'm excited all the time. I'm sorry that I actually don't have a whole lot to say about this one, but we can just admire it. It's beautiful. And finally, we have The Book Thief. I also don't know a whole lot about this, which is shocking because this is an incredibly popular book. But my friend said she cried. Do I expect to cry? I don't know. It smells like a good book. You know what I mean. Some books, when they are fresh off the press, smell like chemicals and plastic. And there's just nothing attractive about that. But books like these that smell like the library and happiness, that's what I'm talking about. So those are the TBR books that I have pulled. I know that I will be reading so many more books in the month of December, but just for the time being, I only wanted to pick 3 so that I could get through them and still have room for plenty more books that are Christmas themed. Christmas books. I have a lot to do today. So now that we've done our little TBR wrap up, our TBR pull, we need to be productive. So let's go be productive together. Let's go run some errands. I actually only have one errand. I gotta go to Rite Aid. We're gonna do some work, eat some lunch, clean our room, pack. It's gonna be a good day. Okay, so first I put on a hoodie because it is freezing here. It is so cold. Now it's time to clean my room. I wrapped up recording what I needed to get done for work, and I'm looking around the room and it's bad. We have books galore, packing stuff, laundry. Our desk isn't too bad. Actually, this is probably the cleanest it's been in a very long time. Craft cart could probably use a little tidy up. Okay, you know what? Actually, this is not the worst it's ever been. But it's also not the best it's ever been, so we are going to make our bed, clean up. So let's get that going. I'm not a Gryffindor. I'm a Slytherin, but this is cozy. And it was for a Ginny cosplay. So I did not film my errand running, but we got our thing from Rite Aid. We got some Starbucks. I got a peppermint mocha with almond milk. I love this during the Christmas season. And the laundry portion is gone. Look at that. Clean. That's been cleaned off, except now it has stuff on it again. We're almost done packing up our stuff. Wow, that just made me really dizzy doing that, so I'm sorry if that makes you dizzy too. But yeah, I've got some other things I'm gonna do today, but so far it's been a relatively productive day. Pretty excited about it. Okay, so now currently I am on Goodreads and scrolling through Instagram and TikTok to see if I can find some Christmas books that I might want to read this year, because I, again, am relatively new to romance. I just don't read a whole lot of romance, and I want to read some cute Hallmark-worthy Christmas books this season. So right now what I have found so far is The Christmas Bookshop by Jenny Colgan, as well as Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. So I've got those two. The Christmas Tree Farm by Lori Gilmore. I've seen her books on Book Talk and Bookstagram for a while now. especially her fall ones. So that's what I have so far. So that's what I'm currently doing. We're scrolling through, looking for books to read. I have added The Holiday Honeymoon Switch by Julia McKay and A Novel Christmas by Charity Shane. So those will be my 4 Christmas reads for December as well, in addition to the TBR that we just went over. I hope that I like these. Again, I'm not a big romance reader unless it has a lot of action, so usually I do fantasy with romance, or sci-fi with romance, or a mystery with romance. I don't do just romance, but Emily Henry has recently changed my mind on that. So now we're trying out romance. So hopefully I like them. I hope that they give all the quality Hallmark vibes that I'm looking for, but we'll see. So I have to get up at 3 in the morning now for a plane for the Thanksgiving holiday, and I'm so excited to be going to visit family for the Thanksgiving holiday, but that does mean that I think I'm going to be wrapping this part of the video up. It makes me so happy to make these and to talk about books with people, and so that's why I started this channel, was really just to talk about books and enjoy all the cozy things with others. So thank you for watching. If you did like this video, please show it some love with a thumbs up or hit that subscribe button down below. It just really helps, and also it helps me see who's watching my videos and maybe we can be friends. Happy holidays, everybody. Please be safe and remember to take care of yourselves and be kind to one another. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.